No. Yeah, careful spoilers.
I thought he was just I thought that was just another one of his type of.
Nope.
Because it wasn't Ray Park. It was a different.
It was Ray Park playing it, and Sam Witwer doing the voice, and Sam does the voice in the cartoons, and it's definitely Ray Park, dude.
That didn't look like Ray Park. I guess
because
I don't know.
What 20 years later? 20.
Yeah, maybe
it is, dude.
That may be true.
Any better, Sean?
No. Yeah, we're live.
We're live.
Right,
we're live. Let me lower this now.
Yeah, we're live. There we go.
All right, we're live.
Yes, it's there.
Sorry, everybody. A little bit of technical issue. Actually, that was on my end. I forgot to check off one box.
Fail.
That's a Mesa fail right there. Let me tweet this out. Okay, hold on. Sorry, stream. That was a Mesa fail.
Mesa fail.
Good in the hood.
It's all good. It's all good. We're live now, right?
New link.
You guys got us. Everybody should have us.
And
let me tweet this out.
I gotta pop out the Chizat.
Right there. What's up, everybody? Let me send this to
pop out the chart.
That's Facebook. Bookface.
The book of your face. You got to use the book of your face. Oh crap!
Facebook,
you know what I got to do here? Hold on.
So many Twitch streamers now. It's hysterical.
I know. What's up with that, dude? Like, is that like the new? That's the new hotness.
Dude, I won't say how much the contracts are, but it's a lot to do. Mad money, man.
Wow.
Cash.
Mad money.
Cash. Cream. Destroyer. Gator Mag. Hey, Gearoid. It's anonymous.
Hey,
Johnson. Robert.
Hopefully won't.
Unforsaken Jay. What's up, everybody? Sorry about the technical difficulties. That was my fault, guys. I forgot to check one box off.
To check off your boxes.
Live. Yeah, sorry about that,
yeah,
guys.
It didn't let you allow me to stream to it, right? Is what it was, I guess.
Well, no, there's a little box that says something go live as soon as they start receiving data. And I think that's thing that I need to remember every time we go live. Hey, Johnny M.
All right, chat should be going there.
The Spawn on Me podcast. What's up?
What up, Ka? What up, Ka?
What's up, Ka?
Spawn. Right. Facebook's giving a lot of money to get Twitch streamers to come over. Hey, good hand.
So I need now to find...
Gamer, that's me over here, dude. Gaming killer.
Mesa's wearing the Warlock t-shirt.
Oh, yeah, the Warlock t-shirt. My Guardian Radio, the new Guardian Radio t-shirt, which we will be selling, and Mark's going to plug it today. It just arrived, too. I'm going to wear that to E3 next week, I think.
Yep.
I'm in honor of Mr. Cade 6 that we're going to be seeing a lot of in the near future.
Oh, yeah.
I'm wearing my spicy ramen shirt.
Got his arm back. What's up with that? I thought his arm got blown off. What happened there?
Right.
Actually, no, you see him in the tower, right? I guess he has his arm back.
Yeah, he's in the
That's
tower.
True. I just played the story recently, so that's why I had that. But what's up, everybody? Thank you for joining us here.
Everybody.
We have, like Sean said, a little bit of technical difficulties, but we are live. We are rolling. And, oh, my God, tons to talk about. And, you know, we weren't here last week. I mean, generally on Memorial Day, we skip it. And it was kind of one of those last-minute things like, do we want to do it? Do we not? And we just said, screw it. We're just going to hold off. And, of course, I'm glad we did because there's a lot to talk about. Actually, I'm almost not glad we did because there is so much to talk about. I'm like, damn, man.
Dramatic, we will have predictions for the DLC reveal, yes.
Yeah.
Like, do we even have time for emails? Like, I think
we have one email. I only put one email in the rundown, just one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. So we should definitely have a good one in store for you guys tonight. But all right, we ready, boys?
What's ready?
Do this.
All right, here we go. Guardian Radio episode 254. Here we go. What's that? No, we'll update. Don't want to update right now. I've had that happen before. I don't want to do that.
Oh my God.
No.
Remind me later.
Please remind me later, and then next week remind me later. It just keeps going. It just becomes this big snowball constantly.
Remind me later until it just says, screw you, you're doing it now.
You're doing it now. Which the PC generally does that. The Mac's pretty good. The Macs are like, nah, it's cool, man. Take your time. But all right, here we go, guys. Guardian Radio episode 254.
Do it.
Welcome, everyone, to Guardian Radio, the first and longest running Destiny podcast on the net. You are tuned into episode 254. My name is Mark Turcott, and I'm broadcasting to you live from inside not my closet, but inside my room here, Cato. And joining me this week from inside his closet, as always, my morning fire team brother, K-Dub. K-Dub, what's up, dude?
What's up, guys? So today has been a pretty amazing day. And, you know, hey, I always cover everything up with humor, and I'm always the guy that likes to laugh. But I had some serious stuff that's going on and asked the community for help. And I didn't really ever publicize this to anybody. I mean, you guys have known. I told you guys. But My son has to have brain surgery next week, and it's a pretty big deal, and it's really scary. Luckily, it's not a tumor. It's not cancer. He's got a cyst on the frontal lobe of his brain and is going to have surgery next Tuesday, and open it up and get in there and drain it. And we're going to have some serious bills, stuff that's not in network, neurologists, all kinds of stuff, meds, and, expenses that are going to be crazy. And I started a GoFundMe today. And I didn't know what to put up to begin with. And I just put $5,000 up because I know that's just going to tip of the iceberg. But the amazing community that we have filled that up in 45 minutes.
It's ridiculous.
And one specific guardian in particular helped me a lot. And it's still out there. I'm going to put it in chat right now. There's a GoFundMe that I have. But if I don't know if that worked. Probably didn't. But I have it didn't work. So I have a GoFundMe. It's on my Twitter.
It worked. It worked.
Did it?
Yeah,
okay.
it's in there. I see it.
But we're going to have a whole summer of him being in bed, and he's going to basically miss his summer. And he's going to be recovering it's an 8-week recovery. And he's 15 years old and he's scared shitless right now. So anything that anybody can do, that's great. Even just getting the word out. It's going to really help a lot. I'm going to get him a Switch so he has something to do in bed and things like that. So, but I just want to say thank you to the community because it really means a lot. And anything that you guys can do, that's awesome. Thank you so much. And we'll get back to laughing here in a minute, but it's been something that really touched me today. It's been awesome.
Well, it's incredible, man. I mean, that just shows how amazing this community is. Obviously we have Guardian Con every year and people see those huge numbers in that, but it's like, here's just one little instance and it's, incredible in a matter of minutes, Caleb. 45. I mean, I tweeted it. You tweeted it at me. I retweeted it from the Guardian Radio account and was getting ready for work and was on my way to work and then saw the message oh no, we met it. I was like, holy crap, man.
Yeah.
Incredible, guys. Thank you so much, man.
For going forward, if anybody, $1, $2, whatever, hey, it's going to help because I know that's just the tip of the iceberg. And I really appreciate all the help and prayers that everybody's given. So thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, that other voice you heard there, our King of Queens, from inside the heart of Queens, Mr. Mesa Sean. Sean, what's up, man?
What's going on, guys? Yeah, thoughts and prayers, Kate, up because you told us about this last week before everyone knew about it today, and thoughts and prayers from my my girlfriend, my family, and everything. And
thank you.
I'm always Mr. Glass Half Full, so
yeah, me too.
I'm sure everything is gonna be okay. If I was 15 years old and having to go through, I'd be shitting my pants.
He's really scared, and we went to see Solo last week together, but he said, and I talked to him and he's got kind of a little bit of the new age mop going on his head, just trying to be cool. And I was like, well, you're going to get a new haircut because I have to shave his head. And he's like, honestly, that's the worst part of the whole thing. Oh. He's like, cut my head open, but don't shave my head.
Oh, man. Poor AJ.
But we'll all be praying for you, man. And, definitely we'll be in touch or as he's going through the process, anything we can do.
I will.
Maybe we can send things to him.
I'll keep everybody updated and I will. Yeah. No,
maybe we can FaceTime him when he's there after recovering and stuff. Get him on screen.
Yep.
Bring him on. Bring him on Guardian Radio.
I was just
one
thinking
night.
the same thing, dude. We could bring him on one night, man. It'd be great.
Come on and
AJ would love
it.
When
he loves Fortnite, right?
He covers a little bit. He has been playing a lot of that, but he's played almost as many hours of Destiny as we have. You know what I mean? So.
Okay.
So anyways, but I appreciate everybody's thoughts and prayers and any help. It's great. I really appreciate it. So let's get back to laughing.
That's right.
Let's get back to laughing.
What's up, everybody here? Thank you for joining us. As always, we appreciate it. Like we were saying in the live chat here a little while ago, we're sorry we weren't here last week. Generally, every year on Memorial Day, we just kind of skip the show and have fun and be with our families on those days. So we didn't give you guys the heads up for that, but we're back this week, and oh my God, we got a lot to talk about. We have not only the stuff from what would have been last week's episode, but this week Bungie dropped all kinds of new stuff. We have a huge reveal tomorrow, small little teaser that we can talk about here. So we have tons to get to, but a couple things here at the top before we do get going. Next week is of course E3 week. The press conference, I believe the Sony conference is on Monday. So we're not going to be recording next week for a couple reasons. One, Caleb's son is having his surgery earlier in the week. Next week, Sean will be at E3 as well. So we're saying, you know what? We're just going to skip the show next Monday. However, we will be recording next Thursday. So look for, if you usually tune in live, look for that live recording next Thursday. And then, of course, the podcast will come out on Friday. And, of course, you'll get all our thoughts and everything from E3, whatever it is that is there, whatever it is that they show. We'll be breaking all that down, as well as a reveal tomorrow, because then we won't have an episode. That'll be the first episode from the reveal. I may personally do a little thing, maybe just put a little something out to kind of give my thoughts on some of the things, because there are some things that, you know, I may be able to talk about, being that we've gone to the summit come tomorrow and some things past that. So there may be a little something. Keep a lookout on your feed. But in terms of the live show, the standard show will be next Thursday night in the usual spot here on Sean's YouTube channel. And big what's up to everybody over in chat over at youtube.com/MesaSean. What's up, everybody? If you want to tune into the live or to the show live, join us usually on Monday nights, anywhere between 8:30 to 10 o'clock. We always tweet you guys when we're going to go live. And you can tune in, join the chat. If you can't be there live, of course, you can catch it the next day on Sean's YouTube channel, or, of course, on our website or in the podcast feed, your podcast service of choice. You can find it there. And we're happy to announce that we have now partnered up with TeePublic, guys. So we are now selling new Guardian Radio T-shirts. If you want to help support the show, or just, you know, walk around with your Guardian Radio T-shirt on, you can do so. We're going to put the link in the chat. You'll find the link in the show notes to that. We actually have a new retro logo, we're calling it. It was created by Leigh Summerstone, who creates Watermelon Exo cartoon. So that logo you can find, and when you click on the T-shirt, it shows it as black. You can pretty much get it in any color you want. So
I love the new logo, because it does have that retro 2013, 2014 early Destiny type of vibe to it. You know,
it does.
And
I just ordered mine's sitting at my folks' house.
Yep, it's classic Guardian Radio with the, you know, radio and the swoosh, kind of how it looks, almost like a NASA logo. That was pretty much what we went for with that old logo. So you can find it there, as well as some other stuff. We were able to go in, because we partnered up with TeePublic, and put a bunch of different other Destiny T-shirts there. So any shirt you buy from that storefront helps support the show. So,
and if you're watching the show, you can see it's above my head here to the right is the logo that we're talking about that Leigh did. It's awesome.
The new logo. So check that, the link again in the show notes or over in the chat right there. So, all right, boys, let's jump into it here. We have lots to talk about. So let's move on here to our news segment that we call Dispatches from the Traveler. All right, boys. Well, this is one of my favorite episodes to do every single year or whatever, as we now have some details on the new update coming this fall. So Destiny 2 Year 2 will be revealed tomorrow. So we're on the eve of it right now as we're recording it.
Yes.
What is it, 9 a.m. Pacific?
9 a.m. Pacific.
Yeah,
9 a.m. Pacific
noon.
On their
I'll be
Twitch
streaming
channel.
it live right here on YouTube. I always get permission from Activision, so I'll be commentating a little bit before and, of course, after, not during. I learned to shut my mouth and mute my microphone when we're actually watching it, because people just want to watch the stream.
And they have to keep the stream to at least less than an hour, because reset is at 1.
That's right. Yeah. Everybody's got to get there, right?
Oh, and I got a slight special announcement I can do after the stream at some particular time. God bless you, honey. Sorry, my girlfriend. I have a certain thing I can announce at a certain time tomorrow. I'll leave it at that.
Just watch Sean's stream. Is basically what we're saying here.
So. I'll be talking afterwards.
Watch the stream. So. But we have the name. Destiny 2
Forsaken.
Man, what do you guys think? What do you think of that name?
Like, he put to bed, as always, you know, there's always that leak, right? And I think it was something of the 9 or Shadows of the 9. So then Eric tweeted out something of the Nope or something like that. You know, people get all creative and stuff. So yeah, we have a name, and it's interesting because it's just simply called Forsaken, right?
It's not the Forsaken. It's not
just like Forsaken. And that one story mission where you see a hive, Major Ultra, and then you have a captain that's called Forsaken something or something the Forsaken.
Mithrax the Forsaken.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. Yeah. So you see, and then if you kill the Hive Knight, the fallen guy doesn't come and attack you. He like talks to you in his fallen shadow or something like that. Yep. So I don't know if this.
And then he gives you access to the reactor.
Yes. There's got to be a lot of Easter eggs. That's why I need to go back and do more of those adventures. You know, a good channel for that is Unknown Player. Unknown Player will find every little detail in every adventure that hints at something new. He just put up a new video actually. I think it was last night. where like a bunch of stuff where some of the lore and stuff from some of the new raid gear talks about quote unquote prison. Like that,
and Sean, that stuff is the new Trials weapons that just came out in the last iteration.
Okay.
Those are the ones that have the lore that involve the Queen. So, like the Scout rifle and the sub have the lore that involve the Queen, and they talk about her. They talk about there's another piece that talks about the Queen speaking about her brother.
Ooh, Prince
so
Aldrin,
there's
man.
Yep. So there's a bunch of other stuff that all ties into. She has stuff to do with the 9. She has a master plan. She's going to be coming back. This is going to be in the Reef, and Cade's going to be all up in it.
Yeah, Kate's going to be the major character because it's obvious like we had Ikora, she was for Curse of Osiris, then we've got Zavala took part with Anna Bray
Warmind.
with Warmind. Now it's time for Cade 6 to kick off the shenanigans.
And we see that in the teaser, right? We see a Guardian and Cade drop onto the Reef, which looks to be a different area than the Reef that we're used to in Destiny 1. I mean, there's almost looks like like rocks or like a cave roof almost above where they land. And,
it didn't look like the social space that we were used to. It looked like part of sort of Prison of Elders, but still out. You see the purple haze of the like solar system and stuff out there.
I love the Reef, man. I'm so glad we're going back there.
It was so small. They've got so much to do with it. But if the thing that I think speculating into this is, if one of the lines that Zavala said was that Cade's been wasting his time filling up the Prison of Elders, that if he's been spending all this time filling the Prison of Elders, doesn't it make sense that we're going to go fight them? Doesn't that sound a little bit like a raid lair or a raid?
Yeah.
In the prison? With the prison with all the different rooms? That sounds kind of like a raid lair situation to me. I don't know.
Yep. Well, or just prison, Caleb. Just bring the prison back. I mean, we have Escalation Protocol, which is more of a social thing. We don't really have the true Prison of Elders style horde mode anywhere in the game right now, and I think that would fit. I mean, it would, and also bring in the raid and the raid layer and all of that. But
let's hope we don't have a raid layer. Let's hope we have a full blown
raid. It's got to start. It should start with a raid
with bosses,
and it makes sense. Like all the toughest, people that Cade has put into the prison. There's. In a prison, there's always a hierarchy, right? Is it going to be one of those deals, and then you got to get to the boss? I don't know. There's a lot of different things they could do. It's a lot of possibilities.
Let me just get something out of the way, because I'm seeing a lot of people in chat saying, is this free? Is it going to cost? It's going to be a paid DLC. And I only know that because if you look at the bottom of the end of the trailer, it says sold separately, or must own expansions 1 and 2 to be able to play this. So like Mark was saying before the show, that more than likely we're going to have to do they'll sell a bundle where you'll have Curse of Osiris and you'll have Warmind and the base game, and you can buy this. Now, before everyone loses their mind, because I saw a lot of the salty people were saying this should be free because of Curse of Osiris and that.
It's free for me.
It's more than likely going to be a Taken King like expansion. So I'm guessing, this is me speculating, it's going to be probably $30-$40 like the Taken King, right? Taken King was $40, Rise of Iron was $30, right?
Yep.
More than likely, it's going to be a Taken King size expansion, $40, and it's going to be almost like buying a new game. I mean, we can all agree when we played the Taken King felt like a brand new game, or at least it did to me. You know what I mean?
Oh, totally. Right.
So, so it's going to be a paid expansion.
I can't wait to go. Just the idea of going to the Reef as a playable destination to me is awesome. Like just going to that social space was always cool, and kind of looking out and seeing the purple haze. And I think back to the original Destiny reveal way back when they showed, I think it was the announcement of the PS4, and there was that picture of the Guardian walking at the Reef, and of course
PS4 Pro.
PS4 Pro. No, dude, straight up PS4. Oh no, the PS4. When they brought the four guys, they didn't know what to do with their hands on stage and all that, and they showed that picture of the Guardian walking like on the Reef, and of course everybody lost their minds because you made us pay for that the second year, whatever. But ever since that moment, to me, I was like, that is the place I want to go in Destiny. And when we got to go there with Taken King, it was just, or not actually House of Wolves, it was just awesome. But we were just kind of in that space. The idea of going to multiple places of the Reef, because really the Reef is just a junkyard, right? It's all these ships.
It's an outer space. It's all stuff that's all beaten up.
So there are so many different locations that you could, like different aesthetics that you could go to in this area. Yeah. So I think that's exciting.
I mean, how much time did you spend just climbing on the pipes and stuff?
I know, right?
All over in the Reef, just looking around, and it was a cool sandbox. It's a really cool. Everything is so neat about it, all the way to Petrovenge. I mean, I can't wait to all of that. It's just. I
love the music with because me, I'm all about vibe, and Bungie. One thing they nail with every game or everything they do is
Absolutely.
everything is about music that gives you an emotion or vibe, you know?
Yep.
So like the Reef, you know, I would say each destination has its own vibe based on what music it's played. The Reef had a really, really cool vibe to it. Everything was purple. It was eerie.
Yep.
You were wondering what was behind the big door back there. Was the queen dead? Is she alive? And this and that. So to have a playable area, and I'm going to assume there's going to be a destination patrol area that's going to be with this expansion, you know, how are they going to do it? Because like you said, Mark, the Reef is all just debris and all that sort of stuff. You know what I mean?
How do you
Like,
make a
what's it gonna be
patrollable
like?
space for that, Sean? You know, like that's
How do you make that? Yeah.
it's tough, right?
The funny thing to me is people give Bungie such a hell of a time about story and not being enough story. But if you think about it, it's been years in the making of the Anna Bray and the
Rasputin.
the stranger. No, the stranger.
Stranger, yeah,
Figuring out who the stranger is. The queen dying. Is she really dead? I mean, all of these storylines have been. It's been years now, and it's kind of like, is this a Marvel movie? Like, what's going on? Like, all of a sudden now, years later, it comes to fruition, and they've done that, and it's really, really cool. Now, do we want more of that story in the game? Yes. I get it. But as far as the storyline of where the arc of the actual game is going, man, it's coming around, and it's a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, like
And then
Paul
watching
Fox
that
89. Paul Fox 89 in the chat says a 0G patrol. Imagine that you had to like jump from different
God.
areas and kind of like float across. That'd be sweet.
But then it's even crazy because if you watch the ending Destiny 2 cutscene after the light travels to the Reef, we see the full-blown Dreadnought again. We see the Rings of Saturn. So I'm going to be like, whoa. Are we going back to the Dreadnought after this adventure? You know what I mean? Are we? You know what I mean? Is it going to be a reimagined Dreadnought? Is it going to be an all new part of the Dreadnought?
It's going to be really Fallen focused. I think. I don't think it's going to.
Well, Sean's saying, you're talking after this.
After this,
year 3, I guess that would be right.
Right.
You know, that's something I can't wait. But yeah, like to see the Reef, see how they're going to turn the Reef into a destination area, into a strike area, to do patrols. That's going to be mind-boggling. You know?
Yep.
Yeah.
I want to read this real quick. This was actually in the TWAB, and this is from Deej talking about the reveal that's going to happen tomorrow. And he says, we'd like to invite you to catch a glimpse of what we have planned for the second year of Destiny 2. We have some big plans for how we're going to transform your Guardian's lifestyle and reinforce your hobby as an interplanetary hero. We'll tell you all about it, and we'll do it live. You'll hear from many members of our development team who will set some big goals for September in their own words. We'll explore deeper into new territory with game director Steve Cotton and project lead Scott Taylor, two faces you might recognize from previous reveals, and we'll respond to a bunch of community feedback and unveil some other things you haven't even been looking forward to yet. It says we'll top it all off with a look at a new roadmap with exciting new promises for everyone. I mean, he just laid out the stream that if they can deliver on everything that he said right there, this stream is going to be bananas. It's like they're pulling the thing that a lot of companies do now. They don't wait until E3 because if you do everything at E3, you just get lost in the mix and it's whatever.
Right.
Yeah, it's smart.
They're jumping the gun. They're saying, "Hey, here's everything we have." I expect E3 next week.
They did the same thing before.
Yeah, you're right. They did. Yep.
Yeah.
This is the way to do it,
the
man.
Taken King came out, they did a reveal before E3, and then when we got to E3, we were able to record and play with the Sunbreaker, Stormcall, and Nightstalker.
Yep.
I will say, man, I'm really glad that he name dropped Steve Cotton and Scott Taylor in here. They're awesome dudes, and if anybody, it's definitely those guys. I'm really looking forward to see what they have to say tomorrow.
I got to hang out with Steve in LA for a little bit at the reveal, and he is just the nicest freaking dude.
He is, man.
Yeah, like Scott's a funny one too. Like Scott's a good follow on Twitter too. He's a funny dude. I like him. He's a nice guy.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, amongst all of that, guys, I mean, I know I don't really want to say we want to speculate about what we're going to see tomorrow, but I mean, how much of it do you think we're going to actually see gameplay-wise? Are we going to see...
I think they need to tease the bullet points, because let's think about it. Warmind, I think... Can we agree that it was a success?
I think so.
I would say so.
Cyrus, right?
Yep.
So I feel like Warmind brought a number of people back, but then it also kept the people who like Destiny 2 going into Warmind very, very happy.
Definitely.
Right.
But their next goal, I think, is to bring the folks back who might have left after Curse of Osiris, didn't really come back for Warmind. And if this is a paid expansion. So their job, I think, tomorrow is going to be to sell us the bullet points of why people who might have tapped out want to come back. To the people who are playing the game and have loved it since the start we're going to be happy. And then the people who came back for Warmind, there's a lot of stuff to do, still fun. But once you hit max light level, you've done the new raid lair, which I finally did last week. Thank God. I did it once with WTF Game Nation, and they carried my sorry butt. But I think the key things for them tomorrow is to articulate what's going to be new to the franchise, to all of us as players. It's going to make us really excited. What's going to be different? Because when we look at the roadmap, weapon randomization, weapon slot changes. Records is another thing I think that's on there. And
new game mode.
The new game mode that we played, but we can't talk about.
But I'm saying, don't you think they're going to be talking about the new game mode tomorrow? I mean,
I hope they do.
They've teased it
too,
publicly.
Man. Yep.
I mean,
I hope they do. You know, but when I look at trying to find the roadmap. Okay, the roadmap. So September, we have gear collections, records, weapon slot changes, weapon randomization, new gameplay modes, plural.
That's crazy, man.
So I think the weapon slot changes and weapon randomization, that's going to be critical, I think, how they're doing it and however they're going to change it to help, I think, bring back a lot of the PvP crowd, you know?
Yeah. Well, Sean, I think it's, part of their mantra for the last, 3-4 months was they want to make Destiny a hobby again for people. And I think that's what this stream, as exciting as it is to see new locations and whatever else they're bringing new to the table, they need to show those who may have fallen off, or even people like us who are still in it and loving it, show us how you're going to push forward with making Destiny a hobby again, or keeping it a hobby for people.
I'll probably be 385 when this drops. But the reason is because it's so hard to grind 3 characters. My 3 characters being my Solar Titan, my Arc Titan, and my Void Titan.
Why don't you delete them?
Well, no, it's just one character, but I literally I make, because of what you do with your armor, with the burns and different things, with the heroics or whatever, if I want my Void loadout, I want my Arc loadout, and I want my Solar loadout, and I need them all to be the same, height level. So that's been kind of the hard part for me is getting each loadout, and I'm hoping, and I was having this discussion with Lays the other day, actually. I'm hoping that they have a situation where we can in game just have a loadout button where you can set up preset loadouts.
Yeah, that would be sweet.
And then go, okay, I want my Void loadout. Bam! And it just switches.
Now, can you do that in Destiny Item Manager or any of those?
I think you can with DIM. I think there's a way to do it.
With that Amazon Echo, the Alexa thing.
It's with Alexa.
Alexa, give me my Crucible loadout.
Yes. But I don't have Alexa. I'm not going to have Alexa.
Yeah, I'm not
but there should be a thing. There should be a thing in game that we can do that. So
agreed.
Hopefully that's coming as
well. A big question I have for chat and for you two guys right now, because this is something we have no idea about. When we went from expansion to expansion in Destiny 1 early on, all of our old legendary stuff, and I think even the exotics, all got left behind and couldn't be infused up to the new power level. What would you guys think if, with this Forsaken DLC, if we had to leave behind all of our old stuff? Now, hold on. I pose this question because, look, we haven't seen Mods 2.0 on the roadmap for months
at all. Right.
So I got a feeling that that's off the table. And then when we look at the roadmap, we see weapon randomization, weapon slot changes. What if they ditch Mods 2.0, they go full-blown, just like Destiny 1, random rolls for everything? How would you guys feel? And I know for me, I want to go back to random rolls. When we went to the summit, I was in that camp. I would love random rolls to come back. And there were 2 kind of factions, because we could talk about questions we asked of the developers, but not the answers. There were kind of 2 factions. People like myself who, I like the Destiny loadout right now. I like to use a scout and a hand cannon, or a auto rifle and a pulse rifle, something like that. But then there's other people who want it to be like Destiny 1. You've got a kinetic, then you've got a shotgun or fusion, and then you get whatever this and that. So I know I'm babbling through this, but what do you guys think about them if we had to literally, we have a new system in place, all the old stuff is left behind?
When you say old stuff left behind, you mean like everything that we've gained so far in D2?
When the Taken King came out, we went back to blue and green gear. Remember that? All of our,
but that was only because level went up. That was only because level went up.
Right, but this is the same scenario. You know what I mean? Like my Vanquisher, my Shadow Price, my earlier stuff that I got in the first year of Destiny.
all your raid gear.
Stayed in my vault. My Saltwinter's Lie, I would use that stuff in PvP, but I couldn't take it into PvE,
right?
Because of the fact that I wouldn't be able to infuse it, and I'd get wasted in PvE. So
I see both points of it, Sean. I mean, the big reason to do it is just to give you more reasons to play and to have you play different each time. Because if you just settle in with a loadout right now and you're like, hey, I can just play through all this new stuff, where they've created this huge new loot pool, but you're still using the same stuff, kind of what's the point? So I do see both sides of it. But I would say, if anything, you got to keep the exotics. The exotics have to be able to come up, but I can see them throw away some of the legendaries. I mean, unfortunately, that's just how it's been with the yearly expansions.
But here's the problem. So they're going to give us 200 new guns?
I mean, pretty much, dude. And honestly, they'll probably be reskins.
If it's random rolls, that means 500-600 new guns.
True.
You know what I mean?
But that's what I'm saying. So is that really, you think by September they're going to have 500-600 new guns? Or are they just going to go, okay, the rolls that you had were static rolls and they aren't advantageous. We're just going to add random rolls to the ones that you have.
But they have to break apart the system. Because remember, like, the frames of the weapons have built-in perks that we were used to in Destiny, like counterbalance and some of those things. Or I think even, not rangefinder, but
here's an idea.
You know, I think if they were to go back to random rolls, one, we'd need more perks. Two, maybe even, let's say you got a hand cannon and maybe the frame itself can be random. You can get a XYZ hand cannon that sometimes drops with lightweight, or sometimes it drops with a high impact frame, because that's another aspect of that weapon. You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean,
Sean, couldn't they do something where it's like, all right, if you want to keep your Nameless Midnight or your Better Devils that you have or whatever, and you don't want to bring it up, that's fine. But if you would like to bring it up and put it into the loot pool where we now have these random rolls, you pay a currency. Like, you go to a vendor, you go to the gunsmith, and you pay whatever, legendary shards or whatever it is, and then once you put that catalyst, like, you know, whatever it is, into it, then now that gun becomes the Better Devils that's in the loot pool with the random rolls. But if you don't want to level it past level, what are we at now? We're at level 40?
30.
30 now.
30.
Yeah.
All right, you don't want to level it past level
385.
30, and you want it to be a power level, whatever, 385 for the rest.
If you want to bring it forward, give it to the gunsmith and let him give you a random roll.
He gives you a random roll on it. So this way they don't have to necessarily do it all. And you don't have to do it for all your weapons. Because think about it, Caleb, you always complain about how full your vault is. Then you know I can go in there and just destroy that stuff. I don't need it. Because
my vault is not full at all anymore. I have figured out how to, because I've always, by the way, I put a nice tweet out. If anybody doesn't know, by the way, if you're short on glimmer and shards, just go break down your shaders. Yeah. I literally spent 45 minutes on Sunday. I was just watching the ball game and I was like, I just had it on my second monitor. Didn't even have all the audio in. And I was just going, breaking down shaders.
Dude, and bright dust. You get bright dust too.
Yeah, right. But I had 200 glimmer and literally one shard. Because as I'm leveling everything up and I'm doing I'm doing void, arc, and solar, I'm leveling everything up and infusing everything. I'm using all my shards and using all my glimmer. I mean, some of that stuff is 5,000 glimmer to infuse.
Yeah.
And I'm like broke. And I'm like, damn, what can I do? And I go and I've got so many shaders that I'm full, and they're all going to my postmaster now. And I'm like, all right, I got to do something about this. And I literally spent 45 minutes breaking down shaders. When I finished that, I had 20,000 glimmer and 80 shards.
Jeez.
Just from breaking down shaders.
Wow.
So they need to, and hopefully in this iteration that's coming up, that we can do a delete all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I had like 96. I mean, Sean, you have one shader, you have 1,000 of them.
Yeah, blue geometry. I finally broke 1,000. Literally, exactly 1,000 is the max cap.
The delete all and just go and just because all you get is glimmer for those.
Yeah, you just get glimmer and then you get legendary shards for the legendary share. But the reason why that I bring that up about the going back and not bringing things forward is because when the Taken King came out and I was back to blues and greens again, I felt like I was playing a new game. You know what I mean? Like I felt like I was back to square zero, and the grind was so much longer. And the big thing I feel that a lot of people complain about is not enough grind in the game. Well, if we start the Forsaken DLC, like the Taken King, where all your old stuff has to stay there, maybe the exotics come forward. But even then, back when the Taken King came out, remember, exotics did not come forward. I remember that first Dawning event when SRL, we were opening up exotic engrams, and the year, I think it was 2 or year 3, Mida came back. You know what I mean? So, like, some exotics were left back in year 1 or 2. I forget. Everything's so hazy at this point. But I feel like if they make us go back to all brand new stuff and put the old stuff back it's going to kind of feel like a new game.
Yeah.
Kind of feel like the Taken King.
Agreed, man.
Let me ask you guys a question. So also thinking about the random rolls versus Mod 2.0, what if they had both? What if they have random rolls and you get a random roll, but it's one perk off of exactly what you wanted, but there's a way that you could mod that perk to change it to what you want, depending on your play style. Is that something you think would work, or is that too much?
Well, I mean, like, the reason why that I keep harping on the random rolls thing, and I see in chat, I know a lot of people think it's broken, it wasn't fixed. For me, anything that keeps the players playing is a good thing.
Yep.
And one thing that kept me playing was always chasing something, right?
Right.
So by the end of Destiny 1, all I was playing was PvP that entire summer for one reason. I wanted a God roll Ias Luna. I got a God roll Lord Hyfixer, but it wasn't an Ias Luna. So what did it do to me? It made me keep playing, and it made me log in and do all those Crucible bounties over and over, play every day to see if I'd get one at the end. And I didn't, but it kept me playing the game. You know what I mean? Whereas when we're handed everything right away, we're bored a month later, a week later. You know, so random rolls, I mean, like, to me, introduces, okay, you do have some imbalanced things. Okay, I do get that, you know, especially in PvP situations, you know. But I feel like too many times with Destiny 2 right now, I had my crutch weapons up until Warmind, right? Where I'd only use the maybe 7 to 8 weapons for all strikes, PvP, da-da-da. Now with Warmind, and because of burns on the weekly heroics, I have different things. I'm going to use Graviton this week. I'm using Polaris Lance here. I'm going to use Cold Heart now because it's Arc. So I feel like from a legendary perspective, I'm still using the same legendaries. I'm still using Nameless Midnights. I'm still using Better Devils. I'm still using Midnight Coup. So that hasn't changed. But I would like to get to a situation where I'm excited to do a Nightfall strike. I'm like, oh my God, that XYZ scout rifle landed with XYZ like when my Future War Cult Wounded dropped with full auto Firefly and full auto Outlaw Firefly and the red dot sight. When that dropped for me, I mean, I lost my mind. That's all I used for the end of Destiny 2's life cycle for PvE things. But I waited 2 years to get that perfect roll in that thing, and it kept me pledging the Future War Cult. Because I knew Future War Cult had a great scout rifle. I just had to get it. Sometimes she would sell it with a roll that was okay. But finally, when I nailed that roll, they need to bring back those moments where people freak out because they got XYZ. You know?
Speaking of factions.
Yeah,
faction rallies.
Let's move into some faction. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. It's not called Faction Rally. It's called the week to the lead up to when Dead Orbit wins the rally. I'm sorry. That's what I'm calling this week.
I think I'm doing Future War Cult because I'm realizing, you know what?
No.
Graviton Lance, and actually my Twitter followers convinced me of this one, and you guys in chat also. Graviton Lance is really good right now. Is it going to be that much better? Not really.
Yep.
Sunshot is going to get range and stability from the Catalyst. I might go Future War Cult tomorrow for the Sunshot Catalyst.
I've seen a number of people saying the same thing, but the reality of it is G-Lance is OP as hell. And
great.
If you're going to get the Catalyst to boot, you might as well do it before they change the meta, because you know that's going to happen at some point in time. So I'm absolutely going Dead Orbit. I mean, Dead Orbit's always been, I mean, going back to the beta days, I mean, Dead Orbit's always been the way I've gone because I like black. I mean, I don't, you can't see it. I bought a new Raider hat just because I like the logo and it's black. I usually always wear black. So I think Dead Orbit, not only that, did you guys look at did you look at the banners for each faction? I put a tweet out. I was playing with Lays and Strider and we took some screenshots in the tower. But the banners alone, Dead Orbit will win. Dead Orbit has a banner that has a sword going through the face of a dragon into the Traveler. The other ones are just like color and crap. It's like, what?
Dead Orbit's pretty sweet, man. Yep.
Like, come on, man. And then you got the Graviton Lance. Catalyst.
Man, like, when I saw that, I was like, really? Did they have to give it to Dead Orbit, man? Ridiculous. So tomorrow after the stream, we're assuming is probably when Faction Rallies will, be live because the stream should be over at that point. But tomorrow, 10 a.m. Pacific, it goes live with Faction Rallies. So as we were saying, Dead Orbit's going to get the Eye of Another World ornament and the Graviton Lance Catalyst. New Monarchy will offer the Crest of Alpha Lupi ornament and the Sweet Business Catalyst. And Future War Cult will offer the Knucklehead Radar ornament and the Sunshot Catalyst. So
now New Monarchy's speaking to Titans right there, by the way.
They are.
Crest of Alpha Lupi is a really good exotic, and Sweet Business, man, that thing just rocks and rolls now too. So It's going to be interesting to see how close it is, but if Dead Orbit doesn't win, I'll be really surprised.
Now, a couple
What's
differences.
everyone in chat? Spam in chat. Future War Cult, New Monarchy, or Dead Orbit? Let us know right now.
Definitely.
What are you guys
Yep.
pledging? Let me see.
What do you
chat.
guys want? While they're spamming that, I want to go through some of this. So they're announcing, or we're going to have now a third-person aura on your Guardian.
That is so cool.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
There's a picture, and I didn't put it in the stream here, but it's literally like the picture of the logo kind of on the Guardian's head, which is just ridiculous.
Yep.
So this is going to look crazy.
You can only see that in third person, by the way.
Yep.
So if you're on your own Guardian, you're going to have to do, an emote or something to see it. But so it, but anyway, it looks so cool.
And this is going to be, of course, in the tower, you're probably going to see everybody. Oh, there goes the chat. They're going bananas over there. We can't even read it. It's going so fast.
Nice.
But so things are a little bit different this time around, though. So you're going to pledge one faction per account. So this isn't like before where it was per character. So there's been a little, some people being a little bit upset by that. However, it has been confirmed that through this whole season, there will be 3 faction rallies. So just pretty much if you want the catalyst, just pledge each one. You're going to be able to get everything by doing it that way. But here's what's different this time around. They're going to use the Renown system. And this new Renown system, once you pledge, you're going to earn Renown by completing a public event or a patrol or by defeating a high-value target on a destination. And you're going to start getting this Renown. And they said players who loot a lost sector with Renown active will receive significantly more faction tokens than usual. And the more stacks of Renown you have, the more faction tokens you will earn.
Now comes the tricky part.
Yep. You will lose Renown when players are defeated by enemies. So be careful when attempting to loot a lost sector when your Renown is high. And it says Renown also will increase the level of challenge in the gameplay, which means your health regeneration is vastly reduced. Enemy kills will have a chance to drop health orbs, and I guess this is on all stack levels.
That's a really cool little thing.
Player damage decreased and increased damage coming in.
Incoming, yeah.
So
this is making patrol and lost sectors
harder,
viable again. Well, harder, but also relevant again.
Yes.
I always said lost sectors is one of the most unique things in the game. It's some creepy, eerie, weird thing. You got to go down, and they all look so different. Some of them are huge, some of them are small, some of them are Cabal, Vex, Hive, and everything. So making them challenging or making them worthwhile, because you have to go in and say, all right, I don't want to lose my Renown, because then when I kill this boss, you know what? It might make us fire team up to go do lost sectors.
Yeah, and it's a risk reward situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like once you got all your stacks and you get the most reward out of going to do what you want to do, you don't want to die, man, because that's really going to suck. So you're not just going to go firing through that lost sector. You're going to be taking your time, clearing everybody out at distance, stuff like that, and making sure that you do it. You're not just going to fly through everything. You got to be a little more careful. It's a risk reward thing, and I really dig it. I think this is an awesome idea. I love it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's stay with some of the in-game stuff, because we have a few other outside the game news bits here. Iron Banner happened last week. Did you guys jump in and play a lot? I actually didn't play that much. I was gone for the weekend.
I played a little bit, but I just want to comment on the Iron Banner emote thing.
Oh.
So it seems like every week Eververse is selling a bundle, right, for $10, right? So when Iron Banner hit, it was an Iron Banner exotic emote where you pull out the battle axe and everything. You have the shield and everything. And
it's down on my D-pad, Sean. I hit down on my D-pad.
Oh, so you bought it?
I bought it. I bought it because of Khalif in the chat. Him and I became Iron Lords together in the same night, and it's ridiculous. But I did. I bought it. I bought it, Sean.
And you know what? I do not fault you for that at all. If you want to spend your money on that, I'm totally fine with that. Because everyone was ragging on me that I'm a Bungie apologist and everything, because I'm just like, I don't care about this thing. Everyone lost their minds when it wasn't a rank reward, right? So my answer is this. Would it have been cool if it would have been a rank 50 Season 3 thing? Yes. Do I care that it's for direct purchase? No. And then they really got mad at me because I thought everyone complained that they want direct purchases, not loot boxes. Well, here's something you can buy. But lastly, I feel if it would have been $2 to $3, everyone would have bought it. You know what I mean? So I think the pricing needs to be a little bit adjusted there. If it would have been $3, I would have bought it myself.
Test is a little steep, I will say.
But the DLC is steep.
Danny in the chat, yeah, man.
When Warmind is $20 and that emote bundle is $10, that's a little steep. Yeah. And then she was selling the sleeper bundle, which I almost bought but then I don't really use my sleeper as much as I really like to. But if they sold something really cool for another exotic or something that made it look amazing, I'd probably spend the $10. But we got to see what they're doing with this every week. You know what I mean? So I feel like the pricing right now might be.
Sean, didn't we have this in Destiny 1? I mean, you had emotes that you just straight up buy.
Yeah,
right?
Well, I think towards the end.
But could you earn? I guess you could earn them from boxes essentially too, right?
Yeah, those packages and stuff like that.
The packages, yeah.
But I got into a lot of hell on Twitter because I thought people in the community wanted direct purchases. No. I made the fatal mistake. I said, yeah, but people spend hundreds of bucks on fucking skins. On skins in Fortnite, right? Everyone's like, but it's a free game. Well, I'm like, whoa. I guarantee you, I see mad people spending $200-300 on a free game for skins and spent less money on Destiny 2. Okay, granted, I think $10 might be a little bit too much, right? Maybe $4 or $5, maybe $3. I probably would have bought it, you know what I mean? But don't complain to me about a free game. Like, I tried to play Warframe. I could either play Warframe and do nothing or spend $60, $70 and buy whatever packages to get me up to certain... I'm not doing that, you know what I mean? So I guarantee people have paid more money in Fortnite buying skins.
Sean, I mean, believe me, you're preaching to the choir here. Caleb and I did a whole podcast about a free-to-play game. I got a refund from Epic because Fortnite became so popular for $180. Epic gave me $180 back because I spent $180 on their free-to-play game. Like, that's bananas, man. And you know, I understand that's why the free-to-play model works, is because it's like, hey, this game is free. I don't mind giving you X amount of money. And in the end, you do end up spending more. I mean,
more, right?
As a parent of now 2 kids who love Fortnite, I've spent a lot of money on Fortnite skins for my kids. Like, that's just the way it is. But I do understand people that say, hey, I paid $60. I should get everything in the game. I get it. For me, it was more one of those things like, hey, here's something that I think is cool that I can just straight up buy. I like that. The loot boxes are what kill me in any game. You know, any game like that. Unless if you can't earn those loot boxes in game, it sucks. Now, luckily, Destiny 2, they've made it where they're no longer throttling the XP. We can earn those loot boxes. That's cool. But, you know, in this case, unfortunately, it was really the first thing that was not attainable through those boxes, and that's why everybody lost their mind. And a lot of the people that were arguing against it, from what I could see, were people saying almost that Bungie owed them something and they shouldn't have done that. You know, like, had they not done the things they've done in the past, this would be okay, but it's because they did the things in the past. That's why this isn't okay. And it's like, no, that just doesn't work. But hey, it is what it is. And, you know, I'll admit it. I bought it, man. I bought it.
And you know what? Listen,
it's cool.
I like some of my other emotes better than the ones they're selling. You know what I mean? Like, I don't use Sleeper Simulant enough, so I'm not going to buy that package. If something came up for something that I really, really liked that was just amazing ornament-wise, not emotes. You know what I mean? Like, I love the emotes that you earn for free within the game.
Sean, I always still have my Neil as my Titan. Like, I've taken that off my D-pad, and I'm like, no, I need to have that because I love just sitting there, like, kind of, you know, kneeling down and just waiting for a public event to start or something. And it's like, this is the most basic emote you get in the game, but it's like, to me, that's what I like to use.
You know what I would like?
It's the cell phone one where he's looking at like this. He goes like this.
Yeah, that's the one, man.
What I would like people to do, and nobody will really spend the time to do this and be honest about it because they lie to themselves. But what I would like people to do is go to a game and figure out how much time you spent on said game, literally playing it. You can do time wasted on Destiny. You can go right to the website and figure it out. And then figure out how much money you spent on it and divide it by the hours. Yeah. And that'll tell you what game you like the most and what you spent the most time and money on. And I guarantee you, it's not Destiny.
Yeah, you're right, man. Yep.
Because if you like Destiny, the time that you spent versus the money that you spent is nothing like the Fortnite people that are buying skins left, right, and center and the CODs and all these things. It ain't no way.
For Destiny 2, I have I have 791 hours played. I got my Collector's Edition well paid off with that, okay? Which means I got my Season Pass, so I got the 2 expansions and the base game.
Let's not go down this road again, because I can see that we're going the road that we don't want to. Long story short, I do understand some of the outcry of people with the emo of saying, like, hey, you know, they shouldn't be charging. But, hey, to me, it's great it's not in a loot box. So if here's an aesthetic, a cosmetic item, if you want it, take it. If you don't, then too bad. It's just something you're not going to be able to attain. And for me, a guy who's played MMOs, who looks at games like World of Warcraft, Elder Scrolls Online, and shit, I spent $20 on a lion to ride around in Elder Scrolls. Like, come on, man. Or I spent $10 in Paragon to run around with a wife beater on his rampage. Like, come on, man. Like, that's just the way it is.
I know, man.
It's games today. Video games
like such a tool just riding a horse. Man. You're riding a horse? Like, what are you doing riding a horse? I'm like,
but let's move on here because we still got some more stuff. Crucible Labs are out now. Crucible Labs is now available on all platforms, and we've had our first test session, and that is with 4v4 Showdown. Did you guys get any time in there?
No, I just played
either,
a quick play,
honestly.
and my two friends, Versace, Viper, and Seamino, are trying to get me into competitive because they want the Claymore, and I am terrible at competitive, man. But I didn't get a chance to spend any time in there.
I looked at all the feedback. I watched some videos. I talked to people that I trust and know that play a lot of PvP, and the thing that people need to remember, because I think there've been mostly negative feedback about Crucible Labs because people expected more, but people need to remember that all this is a little testing ground that they can change at any point in time and make it whatever they want. It doesn't they just started with 4v4 Showdown, and they asked people for specific feedback with specific questions that they wanted you to give them feedback on their forums. And then they're watching, Reddit and Twitter and all the other stuff, but they specifically said, what do you think about the mode? Was anything confusing? Did anything seem missing? Was there a map that was better or worse on it? Were there spawning issues? Were the rounds too short or long? Was there a weapon or other sandbox combination that affected the game in a negative way? And they asked specific questions about that specific iteration. So the 4v4 Showdown, and wanted your feedback. They will then change that another time, and it'll be another play style, or maybe another freaking whole game mode. Who knows? But it's a place that they can put these things to ask for specific feedback from the people, from the community, and it's amazing that they're doing this.
Because people were complaining that it's a failure. No, it's no, it's not. No. They put a game mode in that I think the feedback was they didn't really like it. That's a success right there.
That's the point.
You're giving feedback saying, you know what, we weren't really feeling this game. Or maybe there was a bunch of people who were, hey, I was feeling this game if you maybe did this to this game. So this is a place where Bungie can get feedback on whether, because what if they rolled out Showdown with Forsaken and no one liked it? They'd rather know now
Sean,
if this game's going to work or not.
Yeah, I mean, basically, this is like a live version of what the summit was, right? Like they flew a bunch of these people out to the summit to get direct feedback. That's what Crucible Labs is. It's access to the community for them to get feedback. Now, you mentioned, what if this rolled out with Forsaken? Honestly, man, what could be coming with Forsaken, potentially they could put some things in Crucible Labs, almost like a beta, and test things there, which Showdown could have very well been one of those things where they're saying, hey, let's put it out there. We want to ship it, this new mode with Forsaken. Let's throw it in there. No, people aren't feeling it. Let's take it back and work on it. So it wouldn't surprise me if they're able to push some things into the Crucible Labs to have things ready to launch when Forsaken comes out. They can go in, and if on the fly, they can turn on these modes and shut them off.
I mean, they could literally test. You could test specific weapons in Crucible Labs. They could go, okay, hand cannons only this week, Crucible Labs. Yep. Right? Okay. They could do whatever they want.
I want to know, can they do weapon tuning? Like, could they say, like when we said
sandbox changes?
They can't.
They said not for sandbox changes. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's so many possibilities that they could do to get feedback on certain things and changes that they're thinking about, that they want to make. Hey, before we do that, let's fire that out there and see what the community says and what kind of feedback we get. And they also get numbers to back it up. So I think it's great.
Yep.
Because maybe we don't have Rift, because maybe when Bungie play tested Rift didn't work with 4v4.
Right.
So what if they said, hey, let's throw Rift in Crucible Labs, and all of a sudden it's either a hit, wow, it's we love Rift, or now, you know what? It doesn't work with 4s. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Maybe it works with 6s. All right, so let's make Crucible Labs, we'll make Rift 6v6. It's a place where they can test things. So when people are saying it's a failure, no, it's not a failure. If you didn't like the game mode, they did their job because you gave them feedback as, you know what? I wasn't feeling this game mode right here. Or maybe the people that did like it would like these things tweaked or something. But it's a great place, and I hope they keep doing it, but with different game modes and stuff.
Definitely.
By the way, the one thing that I wanted to comment about Iron Banana, Man, I miss Distant Shores. Not once. They just pulled it out. No,
Like Bannerfall?
no.
Did you play Bannerfall, man?
Bannerfall I did, and it was great, and I had a blast. I was so happy to have. There was a lot of the that, and then the map that was on Mercury that we know, and I can't remember what the new name of it is.
Burnout.
Burnout, yes.
That's it.
That was a fun map too, but I was really surprised that Distant Shores wasn't in there, and I know it's because of sixes, but man, that map's not that much smaller, if at all, on Burnout or some of these other ones. I think that obviously I think they were afraid of spawn issues, but God, I missed that map. And then I went and played regular Crucible, and it came up, and I was like, oh yay,
yeah.
But it's just I just love that map. But anyway, go ahead.
The cool thing about Bannerfall was I wasn't afraid to run past the B-Dom by the tree, because in D1 all it was idiots posted up with their 1,000-yard stairs and longbow sniping me. Whereas now I know that if I see people there, they only have a scout rifle and probably don't have a sniper. You know what I mean?
The funny thing is, on that map, Sean, so what I typically do on that map is I'll go all the way around the back outside to the rail, either side, doesn't matter which side you're at, and come through, and there's always somebody up on that ledge trying to shoot down. And I got a double and a triple down 3 times in a row, just coming around with my Graviton and bloop, 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 see you later. And they're all camping there in the corner trying to do exactly what you're talking about. And like, dude, I know this map. Hello, thank you.
Let's see. Let's talk about some of the in-game stuff, and that is that this is a big one, man. Bungie has been announced to be going to Guardian Con. So, 6 months ago, the big statement out there: Destiny will not be on the main stage, and it's terrible. And nobody said it was terrible, but you know what I mean, like saying it's not going to be there. Bungie's not going to have a presence there, and Destiny will not be there. To now, they are definitely going to be at Guardian Con in what seems to be a bigger way than they've ever been there before. I mean, the past few years, it's really just been, hey, Cosmo's here, Deej is here, and that's kind of cool. This, to me, I mean, I saw other Bungie people tweeting saying, I'll see you there, I'll see you there. So this is going to be a much bigger presence.
To that too,
for me?
To me, guys, listen, Guardian Con was found, and I'm not one of the founders. I went to the second one, third, and that's it. Guardian Con was founded on the celebration of Destiny while benefiting the charity of St. Jude. You know what I mean?
It was Destiny Con the first year, remember?
Right, exactly. I was a little annoyed that all of a sudden this year it seemed like us and the DCP,
Pope and those guys,
were going to be the only ones flying the Destiny 2 flag, and everything was going to be Fortnite and the Division and some other titles that everyone likes, and it's great, but it felt like it was diminishing the fact that, originally this was a celebration of a franchise we love, And also, like I predicted, and I got so much slack for when I always said Destiny 1 was, it needed a lot of work in year 1. It became great over time, and Destiny 2 is a better base game. They're doing exactly what I predicted. Destiny 2 was a better base game than Destiny 1, and it's becoming amazing over time. Warmind proved that. It's not perfect, but I got a feeling September, we're going to be blown away by it, man. Yep. Blown away by it.
And it's funny. The funny thing is that I love Guardian Con. What those guys do and what everybody it happens to raise for St. Jude's is amazing. And I got nothing bad to say about any of those guys. They do a good job. But there was absolutely a time when they had to defend the reason that it was Guardian Con.
Mm-hmm.
They no longer will have to defend that because it's turned ever since the community summit. The whole thing has turned, and now it's going up and it's on the rise and it's getting back to be positive again. And it's so fun to see that. Hey, you know what? When everybody comes to Destiny Con or Guardian Con, excuse me, and I hope you do. We're going to be representing. We're going to be the tower. I sent that to Cosmo. Hey, so we're going to be the tower. Somebody responded and said, hopefully it's better than being the farm. But we'll be us and the DCP. Hopefully we're close together, and we'll be the tower, and we're going to represent. So if you come to Guardian Con, please do come see us.
We did talk at the summit with Pope and actually with Gathalion and that, saying, hey, can we maybe be kind of near each other, because at this
Right.
point, this was, without the Bungie presence going to be there.
Yeah.
It's like, hey,
before
we're
the
going to
summer.
kind of be the only Destiny presence. Can you put us, next to DCP? And, Pope was even talking to him like, let's do this. So hopefully that's how it'll be. And if you're coming to Guardian Con, of course, in the coming weeks, we're going to be talking about more of our plans, and hopefully we'll get to see you there. Of course, if you're there, stop by the booth, come say hey. And it wouldn't surprise me if whatever Bungie is going to do at E3, if they're doing anything at E3, maybe they're bringing something to E3, which I think we could all kind of assume they probably are. Wouldn't surprise me, or I at least hope. I would hope that they're going to do it. Bring it to Guardian Con. Bring that
bring
stuff
a game
there.
mode or something.
So the
Right.
true Destiny fans that maybe are just watching the streams can get their hands on this stuff. When we've seen them do this before, they go to PAX, they go to all those things, but this is Guardian Con. This is the convention that's built on Destiny. Bring that stuff there. And from seeing the tweets today from multiple Bungie folks, I think that's what they're going to do at Guardian Con. I know there's more info coming soon, but I think it would be very smart for them to go ahead and do that and just get feedback directly from the players.
Real quick, somebody in the chat asked if anybody even goes to the farm anymore. And I actually did this week because Rahul is such a dick that I have gotten probably 15, 16 exotics. They have all been dupes. And Strider, our buddy Strider, said, dude, go to Tyra Karn in the farm. She's not such an ass. I was like, okay. So I tried it.
That's great.
And I went to Tyra Karn, and I got my third Crest of Alpha Lupine. I was like, fuck you.
That's awesome.
No, it's the same. It doesn't matter.
I go to the farm to get screenshots sometimes. If I want to get a screenshot for a thumbnail or something, I'll just go in third person and go by the soccer field, because you got to.
Yeah,
if the lighting is
beautiful
right,
over there.
the sun is perfect, and you get a nice silhouette of your Guardian on it.
I go there. Did you ever? Kiddo, I don't know if you've ever done it. Have you ever made yourself jump really high there? You get all glowy in that. You jump like 30 feet up in the air. I was just showing my daughter recently. I was like, man, this is so much fun just doing that. You jump all crazy high, bouncing around. And there's guys on the soccer field who clearly have never seen it before, and they're just looking up at me like I'd come
Like,
right down and
What
boosh,
happened?
jump
Right.
all around
What
them.
did you do? Right.
I love it.
absolutely.
Let's see, one quick other news bit here, and this kind of threw many people for a loop when this was announced. And that is that Bungie has a big investment that came in. Over $100 million has been invested into Bungie. It's a big partnership with the Chinese tech company NetEase to help them explore new directions. And so essentially now this new company has a big stake in Destiny. And Pete Parsons came out and basically said they did this so that they can start self-publishing their own products and kind of not be tied down. Which obviously is kind of him saying like, hey, this Activision deal kind of stinks that we have to kind of answer to them, so we want to bring this other company in. And NetEase, for many people out there that don't know, they're the ones that actually run some of the other Activision Blizzard games like World of Warcraft or Overwatch in the Chinese market. So of course this just makes sense. And I saw a lot of people saying like, oh my God, they're abandoning Destiny. And they made it a point, Bungie made it a point in the story to say, hey, if you play Destiny as a hobby, do not be concerned. We will still continue to support that. This money helps us build a second team on another project that can help us create more worlds for you to explore and have fun in. Some people forget that Bungie actually made a mobile pirate game. I wish I meant to look it up. Back when they were making Reach, so there was a game on iOS that Bungie had made that was just kind of this small little game that was made by a very small team. But everybody thinks of them just as making Halo, and that's it. But they didn't. They actually made a second game at that point. Now, this game I don't think is going to be something that small, but it wouldn't surprise me if it's something a little bit bigger in scope. And, of course, I'm guessing, and we all kind of are in agreement here, is probably going to the mobile market. But I would think it's going to go to the mobile market kind of in the way Fortnite did, where you may have multiple
Real quick, because I know you'll have more on this than I will,
across.
Sean, but I wanted to point some things out to people. So Activision's investment to Bungie was $500 million for Destiny 1, 2, and 3. NetEase's investment is $136 million, and Bungie gets to be the publisher.
They get to self-publish.
So that's obviously not a 10-year plan type game. It sounds like it's something on obviously a smaller scale, even though it's $136 million, smaller scale. I think that there's definitely going to be some mobile stuff going on. Whether it's also helping to bring Destiny to China, I don't know. But it's not going to hurt Destiny. It's only going to help Bungie. So I think it's all positive stuff.
There's a great article that everybody missed, except Google helped me find this one. Gamesindustry.biz had a full article on it where Pete Parsons actually clarifies everything. And he says a few things. He says that the word entertainment, that they want to make Bungie also more of an entertainment
company
and gaming company.
Correct.
He also had a quote in there where he's like, they have so much experience in the mobile market, which we don't have, you know? So my take is two things. One, it's standard operation for a company that wants to grow. So what does that mean? That's better things for Destiny, of course, because the bigger Bungie gets or the better that Bungie does means better things for Destiny. But I see it also as a parlay into getting Destiny into the Chinese market. Now, at the end of this article, the general manager for NetEase spoke and said that would be a decision that would have to be up to Activision Blizzard because of their deal with Bungie. Right. But I totally could see this as a win-win situation for Activision if they were to go this route and say, hey, you know what? This is a market we don't have Destiny in right now, and there's billions of people that would like to play this game. Mm-hmm. Parlay this relationship that Bungie has a relationship to work on maybe mobile and another game with NetEase. Now they have this relationship. Hey, let's meet up with Activision. We don't have Destiny in China. There's billions of people there. Let's get Destiny over there. You know what I mean? Like, that's me speaking from a business perspective that I think could be a win-win situation.
Well, but Sean, the number one word in all companies that are for profit is growth.
Yeah.
There's a billion people in China.
Yeah.
That's pretty good growth.
So it's going to be interesting, man. Yeah. I think it's going to be interesting to see, number one, what the game is, and then just what they're able to do in the Chinese market. I mean, people should be excited. Like, don't be. I saw people all like, "Oh my God, they're abandoning Destiny." No, they flat out say they're not. Be excited.
Be happy for a company that's growing. The company that makes the game you love wants to grow. If they grow, which means more capital gets put into the company, which means probably more R&D, research and development, gets put into the games we love, hey, I'm all for it, you know?
Yep.
All right. Let's move on here to our clan spotlight, the part of the show where we spotlight a clan. So if you're out there looking for a clan to maybe run Escalation Protocol, get through Spire of the Stars, any of those things, we got a clan for you. So, K-Dub, who do you got for us this week, man?
We do, and I have a very specific one that I picked because it's kind of a special thing that I don't think we've had this in all the years doing Guardian Radio, and we have a PS4 clan called Praise the Salt. It says, we are a group of adult Guardians from Hawaii looking for clan members to join us. Considering our location, we are often at odds with most time zones when getting groups together to play. We like to raid, and some of us are even on our way to getting our raid Redrick's Claymore. We have currently 14 members, and we're looking to grow. We're 18 plus. The core group plays daily in the evening in the Hawaiian time zone. So for people that don't know time zones, I'm on the East Coast. California is the West Coast, which is 3 hours behind us, and I think Hawaii is 2 hours behind them.
It's 2 or 3, depending, I think.
Right.
Depending on the year.
Right.
Time of year.
Right. So if you just do your math and figure out, what if that works for you, they would probably benefit with some people in Europe. But the contact is Elijah Cuttlefish on PSN, and it's the same on Twitter at Elijah Cuttlefish, and I'll spell it real quick. It's ELIJAHCUDDLEFISH. Elijah Cuttlefish on PSN and at Elijah Cuttlefish on Twitter. If you are around when those guys are playing, they are passionate about Destiny. They're looking to grow. They need help. They want to be able to run the raids all the time. And hey, hit those. Yeah, so it's 1 hour behind California. So 6 hours behind the East Coast. If that's something that you can do, help those guys grow because they sound like a lot of fun. And hey, playing with some Hawaiians, you can't go wrong. Maybe they'll invite you out for a clan get together.
There you go. Nice.
Hawaii's beautiful.
Let's see. Let's just move on to our emails here. We got one email this week we want to read to you. Remember, if you want to email us, feedback@theguardiansofdestiny.com. And this one comes to us from Morgan. It says, hi, my name is Morgan. First of all, thank you all for an amazing podcast. I was thinking about some improvements to the game when I was listening to your podcast the other day. I think the same maps tend to come up over and over again in the Crucible. It's boring to always play the same maps. Maybe Bungie could take from another game Activision published, Call of Duty. It would be nice to have a lobby where you were able to vote for one map, as in Call of Duty, where you have the option to vote on one of the 2 maps or vote for a random map. This would help players play the maps they want, and so more fun for everyone. This could be implemented in the Strike playlist as well. Awoken Hunter since Destiny 1 beta. Best regards from a long-time listener from Sweden.
Sweden.
Awesome, Morgan. And
Isn't that cool?
I mean, we've talked
Love that
about
idea. Yeah.
the multiplayer side of the map.
It needs it, man.
What about a strike? I never thought of putting that into the strike.
That's why I put this email in there.
For a heroic
Because
strike playlist?
We've talked
that'd be
100
huge.
times about being able to vote on your PvP map, but the strike vote, because we just had an issue where Destiny literally pulled a strike from the list.
Yeah.
Because every time it came out, everybody backed out.
Yep.
And if they had this system, that wouldn't have happened.
Mm-hmm.
And they would have gotten the same feedback of nobody voting for that damn strike. And people wouldn't have had to go in and screw somebody that went forward and back out and go through the whole thing. If they had this in the game where you can vote on which strike you want to do, and then you've got people in the queue, right? And so let's say the queue comes up and you vote for a certain strike. The first two other people that vote for that strike, bam, there's your fire team.
Yeah.
And off you go. I think it's brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Because lately with strikes, I find the 2 Curse of Osiris strikes come up nonstop.
They do now, Sean.
And I never get Inverted Spire, which with Burns is the most fun strike because you could burn him literally at the first level before he
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, you
know what I
can,
mean?
man.
I will say, what's the new strike with the worm god? I've forgotten the name.
I don't know what it's called, but
There's
the one was
Nocris, and then there's
Well, in any event, we had that with Solar Burn, and I'm on my Hammer Titan. He was done before he even made his first run.
Yeah.
It was out. It was awesome.
fun
Dude,
now.
Sleeper
so
Simulant on Hammer Titan is just, I mean, you were just fired
With a
for
solar
days
burn, yeah.
and burning. Oh my God. That's crazy.
Yep.
I forgot to talk about one thing before we sign off, guys. They nerfed Escalation Protocol, and a lot of people got upset, okay?
That's right. We didn't talk about that.
But however, I had an experience late, was it Saturday night or Friday night, I think, that to me, it all made sense why they did it. Friday night, I was bored, and I flew into Mars, right? And I just fired up Escalation Protocol because I was getting one of my catalysts done. Before I knew it, the cavalry arrived, right? Now, me and all randoms, and I checked the roster. There was a fire team of 3 and a fire team of 2. We finished level 7 4 to 5 times, okay? To me, that's what, in my opinion, I think Escalation Protocol was intended to be played like this, okay? Because what everyone's like, they're nerfing it. We want to do the 9-man fire teams. First off, the 9-man fire team is a nightmare to get together.
Right.
And as I predicted, I felt like Escalation Protocol is a public activity in patrol where once people will become powerful enough, everyone on patrol, someone fires up,
They're going to jump in and do it.
Right?
Yep.
But no, this community, they want everything day one. They want the shotgun day one. They want the SMG day one. I did a zillion runs with WTF Game Nation. I only got the SMG, whatever, to send out. So I think it's working as intended, and I agree with the lowering of the final few levels down to 385 because it's still pretty hard, even if you're, come 385.
It's still a son of a gun.
Yep.
Yeah.
And, like on the roster when I was playing with one fire team of 3, a fire team of 2, and 2 other randoms, right? And when I looked at their, power levels, there was a few like me who were 384s or 385s, and then it was 1 or 2 360s, and the rest were 370s. That's the way it's meant to be.
But Shawnee, I got to point something out to you.
Yeah.
You're a little spoiled in the area that you're in on your server.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I go to Mars, there's 2 people there.
Okay, hold on. If you stay in the area, do patrols, and start firing up Escalation Protocol, people start coming. I think it starts feeding you people into the server because so many times, same thing. I'll spawn in, I check the roster. What, there's one person here? Then as I start to do a patrol or if I fire up a public event, all of a sudden I start people
coming in.
Spawning in at the spawn point over at the Glacial Drift. You know what I mean? So I would encourage people when you get into 370s or 380s, start firing up Escalation Protocol. And you'll see people start to join in the fun. And then you're going to see other people start joining in. Then you're going to run into a fire team of 3. Then people are sending you invites to join their fire team because now you can get some of their friends in. I think it's a blast. I love Escalation.
It is a blast. I love Escalation Protocol as well. I've just had the problem of not ever having I've never had more than 5 people.
Okay, well, try next time you go on there. Just start mucking about, as the British would say. You're mucking about.
Yeah, mucking
do
about.
Do a patrol 2, fire up Escalation Protocol, and just do level 1, not even finish it. You'll see people start to join in. Then fire it up again. You'll see more people start joining in. Or if a public event is going on, as soon as that public event is over,
fire it up right away.
Fire it up right away. 'Cause you have them all there. You see that, okay, you know what? These people want to do it. All right, I want to do it. Then if more people start joining the server as you're doing it, I don't know how Bungie does it, but they might be feeding you people who are
Well,
they see
when you look at when people look at the destination on their director, they'll see that there's an event starting, and they might, especially early in the week, right after reset, when people are wanting to do their milestones, they might see that, and it's going to even be better the week that Mars is the milestone for, then it's going to be a lot better. But that's the issue that I've had. The only way that we've gotten any success is by having a fire team of 3 going in there and starting it and finding some other people. And that's really been the only way. But yes, maybe you're right about firing it up and having people join in. I haven't tried that.
I think to Charlie's point in chat, because he's talking about a lot of people, and I've seen this a lot on Reddit too, is Charlie was mentioning about people being so rude, trying to get you to leave your fire team and everything like that, because they're trying to get a 9-man fire team.
Right.
My experience was I did not say, I was not in any party chat. It strictly was me with all randoms. No one was talking to anyone. We were killing things, and that's it. You know what I mean? So I feel like this is the way it's supposed to be, whereas you don't have to get someone to get you to leave the fire team.
And Sean, I think you're right. Because as people now are leveling up and starting to maybe feel a little bit more comfortable, because right now, I mean, you could pretty much be 365, 370 without even doing a raid or any of that stuff. Like if you just did your milestones, everybody should be around that. So now you're starting to see more people now kind of jumping into Escalation Protocol. Yeah. And in the next week or two, I mean, we're what, going into week 5? So this is the final week of the reset. So after this next week, I guarantee you're going to see a lot of people jumping in there. And if you just do like what you said, just hang out and
because you don't have to be. I mean, like there's no communication needed. Because I remember like we started doing it, and I noticed I was doing tractor cannon buffing to all the bosses. Then I saw someone else do it, but then I realized we were a little short on DPS because the guy cannoning. I looked up his light, and he was like 370. So I was like, you know what? I'm 384. You know what? Let me do DPS while he tractor cannon. So, and there was no communication. I just noticed he kept buffing those guys, and I kept looking for when he would debuff the boss or a witch or something like that, and then I would lay into him with my void rocket. So there was some slight strategy there, but there was no communication, there was no talking, there was no toxic message. It's simply everyone kill everything you see, revive people, and it was I thought it was a really fun experience.
All right, well, get out there and do some Escalation Protocol. I think is what
some Escalation Protocol.
Yes. But let's wrap it up there, guys.
Get those shaders, man.
Tomorrow,
those shaders down.
That's right. As we're recording this right now, or tomorrow, by the time any of you are listening to this, I'm sure we will all know exactly what the new DLC is and kind of what's going to be involved in it. So just enjoy the stream, I think is what I want to tell everybody kind of listening live. This is one of the best times when we kind of have the unknown of what's coming up in Destiny. And I'm really hoping, being with
speculation is what this show was founded on.
That's right,
my friend.
That's right. What Deej put in the TWAB here, there's a lot of things he kind of promised in here, and I'm hoping that they're able to deliver on a lot of it. And honestly, I think they will be. Like Sean said, Sean will be streaming tomorrow. He will be streaming the reveal live. Stick around in his stream the whole
afterwards
time.
At a certain time. So I'll be streaming a Bungie stream. I have permission from Activision to stream it to YouTube, and then at a certain time, I may have something cool to announce at a certain time tomorrow.
Cool.
I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Like I said, next week on Monday, we will not be recording live, so there will not be a recorded show on Tuesday. We will be recording on Thursday night. Remember, it is E3 week, so Sean's going to be at E3. We want to make sure we get through all the press conferences and see where Destiny shows up. I think we can all assume it's going to be at the Sony press conference, if at all. I mean, I know Sony's kind of doing something different, a little bit different this year. But of course,
Max, what's up?
There may be things playable on the show floor that people will be giving some feedback on. So we're going to record a Thursday night next week with the podcast recorded version coming out on Friday. However, I may be doing my own little podcast. I may even pull someone else in before then to talk about some experiences I may have had at certain places and maybe some things that I may be able to talk about. So be on the lookout in the podcast feed. You may find that in there too. So as always, everybody, don't forget, email us, feedback@theguardiansofdestiny.com. And again, if you would like to purchase a Guardian Radio t-shirt, you can do so. You can find the link in the show notes or on our website. Just go where it says merchandise that helps support the show. And remember, you don't even have to get just a Guardian Radio shirt. There's all kinds of just ridiculous Destiny shirts on there. I kind of went through a bunch of TeePublic, a bunch of the different shirts that are there, and there are some sweet-ass t-shirts. So all those pictures that are on our, or all the shirts that are on our storefront, I kind of handpicked it because I was like, man, these shirts are pretty sweet. So I'm going.
Sean,
Renown,
my
that can help support the show.
14-week-old puppy is bigger than your dog already.
Oh my God, I know. They grow so fast, those labs, right?
That's awesome.
He's over 30 pounds now, dude.
That's great. But all right, everybody. Well, thank you as always here for tuning into the show. However you're tuning in, whether it's through Podbean, through iTunes, through your podcast service of choice, through YouTube, whatever. Thank you guys so much. And with that, we'll catch you next week.
I farted at the end.
Nice. All right, Stream. Well, thanks for hanging out,
So-
guys. It was a good one.
Stream, thanks for hanging out, guys. That was awesome. Yeah, I'll be live tomorrow. I'll do it like 15 minutes before they actually go live so I could talk to everybody and chat and get everyone hyped up and
I'll
everything.
get home, dude. So hit me up and.
Yeah, I'll be online and then we'll stream. And then I have to work on the Descent Dawn Quest 5.
Do we know what it is?
Step 5.
What is it, Sean? Do we know?
I got a feeling it's the Masterwork version of Polaris Lance, but
that's
I'm
what
wondering.
thinking.
But what if it's a exotic sparrow? You know how like you got the sword at 35, I think?
Yeah, but everything's been geared towards that weapon, dude. It's got to be the Masterwork, right?
No, I know. I hope so,
It's
because
gotta be.
the Masterwork gives it Dragonfly as one of its new perks.
All right.
So picture you got your fifth round is an explosion.
Already get the explosion, yep.
And then everyone else, every kill you get is Dragonfly procs. For
Jeez.
Solar Burn, that's going to be a fun gun, man.
Nice.
Be a lot of fun.
But all right, Stream, I'm going to kill the stream, guys. Thank you so much.
All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out, guys.
Guys.